Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I'm so happy to see you again. Today, I want to speak about a very important topic. It's about where we created to be happy. And I think mostly we think that we just should have trials, and that's good when we have trials, when we suffer, etc. Then we are close to Allah. But I want to give you proofs about in science and faith and in harmony how we are not just meant to live in trials, anger, sadness. So let's speak about the purpose of life firstly, right? You know, I have here my notes, so I will look a little bit down and I will give you, inshallah, the best information. So, a common question which we all have is: are we designed only to face trials, or can we enjoy life? And what is enjoyment in this life, right? So, the goal of this video is really to show that joy and contentment are essential to our existence. And that's also scientifically proven and also religiously. So let's speak firstly about the scientific perspective, joy and energy. Firstly, psychologically, we know happy people are more energetic and creative. I always say I made a lot of trauma work. I'm a psychological counselor, so I had also worked with so many Muslim women in Austria, Swiss, and Germany about psychology and about trauma healing and whatever. So I always say, if you're hurt, you will hurt people. Not that you want to do that like you want to do it, but your subconscious, what is in my opinion just the soul, is like a big bibliothèque, all right, like a big library, and there's all everything is stored there. And something what is unconscious will always control you. This is a rule. It will always control you, and it will make your level of awareness and how you deal with people and how you see them, how you can see their needs and their emotions, always limited. Like, let's say, for example, you come from a background, you had a lot of traumas, you had a lot of problems in your life, or you still have that. You are not, your nervous system is not regulated. You are always in a fight or flight mode, and don't underestimate that. And mostly when we are so in pressure, we also cannot like make the ibadah, like the prayer and the dhikr, with khushua and with a good healing way, because zikr and sajda, for example, is very healingful. Really, it's also scientifically proven. When you make a sajda, it's so like your nervous system completely relax. But mostly we cannot do that because our mind don't stop working, thinking, and having extreme scenarios. Why? Because we are not regulated. Why? Because we are traumatized. And if you have a little bit knowledge about neuroscience, you know that when a trauma is not integrated in the mind, yeah, in the memory thing, it will always be triggered, and you are constantly triggered from your outside world, and this will make your life, of course, not like a Jannah. It will make your life like a Jahannam, like a hell, and that's normal. So it's very important to listen firstly what I'm saying, and of course do the right work to heal your nervous system, and that's not so difficult like you think right now. So we know, as I said, happy people are more energetic and creative because you can focus. When we go to biology, for example, we know also, as I said, now we have hormones. We have hormones, for example, they are created when we hug each other, when we make sport, the oxytocin, right? The cuddling hormone, how we call it in German. And then we have cortisol, the stress hormone, right? And if your nervous system is constantly in stress and panic and in fear, anxiety, that was Shaitan. He loved that so much, and he wants that you are like that. That's why he give you constantly waswasa, or your qareen, the jinn around you, your nafs. So that is the problem, and that's the reason why our body get ill, why we cannot lose that weight, why we have no mood anymore, why we sleep so long, why we eat so unhealthy. Cortisol. We need a certain amount of more more things from the outside world, let's say chocolate, to try to get that cortisol down. And for long term, when you have a very high stress long time, your body will show that. It's a reflection, actually. You can see it by someone if this person is struggling or not. So joy triggers the release of endorphins and oxytocin, they so-called happiness hormones. I'm sure you know that. And these hormones promote healing, reduces stress, and strengthen the immune system. So your healing, your real healing, if you're ill, goes so much faster. That's why, for example, a woman, when she have a healthy pregnancy and she was happy and she gave natural birth, for example, or she have a C-section, whatever, she can heal faster than a woman who have constantly stress in her pregnancy and she's unsure and she have problems with her husband and she have anxiety. And I went to both, so I can tell you that's 100% sure. In my first pregnancy with my daughter, my first daughter, I had a terrible pregnancy, full of trauma, and my healing process took me so long. C-section and the scar took me like 1 year to heal. 1 year. And now I have given a natural birth and my healing process is so much faster. Can you believe I give birth before 1 week? Yeah, so it's completely different. And I had a very nice pregnancy this time. All right, so connection to patience. We have learned in the first video, go back if you didn't listen to it, so much about patience. Patience without joy and contentment can lead into exhaustion, and I'm sure you experienced that. Scientifically, negative thinking drains energy. You must understand that is so heavy, right? While positive thinking builds it. So the complete opposite. And the religious perspective, the purpose of life. In Quran Surah 67:15, He is the one who made the earth a place for you to live and enjoy its provisions. So no, this dunya is not there only to have trials and suffer and be unhappy. That is not true. You should enjoy. Enjoy what Allah gave you. If you want to watch a nice movie, enjoy it. Be thankful. If you want to eat a piece of chocolate, enjoy it. Be thankful. Be thankful. Because Allah say multiple times in the Quran, we should be thankful. That's actually why we was also created. But just a few of the believers are really thankful. And let's go to the story of Adam and Eve. In paradise, we know that Adam and Eve lived in joy and peace while they praised Allah. They have shukr and hamd to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This shows that joy is the natural state of every human being. This should be 80 or 90% of our feeling. But nowadays, we are 80 to 90% mental ill, we have health problems, and we have strong depression, right? So of course, the understanding of our religion, which we are having, is not right. Because if you would follow the real religion and the real understanding, you would feel happy. Because the prophets, they went to so strong trials, but they still had this the mumarira, the sakina in their heart, like they was calm. We not. So we must really check our mindset and we must delete beliefs. We must do that. I did that and I'm still doing that because what I learned gave me also a very bad image about my life and Islam. So we have also some other things here when we look to Adam and Eve, and I will go deeper into that. Adam and Eve were in a state of worship and joy in paradise. Islam, like other religions, came to teach humanity joy and happiness. Yeah, nothing like terrorism and whatever. That's not right. That's man-made. That's not what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say in the Quran. That's why we need to study the Quran based on our understanding. Like also, if you are a convert like me, I'm a convert. I'm not a born Muslim, all right? And it took me years. I learned Arabic and I stopped and I learned and I stopped. And I'm still not able to understand it completely. I have a basic understanding, I would say that like that, because Arabic is like a sea of the Quran. But I have some understanding of the grammar and how to use it. And I am able, and I have created also a system how to make tadabbur as a convert, because everybody tell you, hey, translation is bad, you should not use it. But I'm not able to understand the Quran, so you should follow a sheikh. But the sheikh have an interpretation, and that's normal because every human being have that. I will go to that topic later, and I will maybe shock you a little bit. But it's not good if you just follow blindly shuyukhs. It's not right. That's what I did for years, and my life gets so terrible until a point where I say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if this is really, I love you and I believe in you, Ya Rabbi, but if this is really the understanding of the religion, I cannot be it anymore. I cannot suffer my whole life. And that was the turning point for me, where I understand real Islam. So we go back to what I say to the key point. Islam, like other religions, as I said, came to teach humanity joy and happiness. True joy is meant to remain with you, even doing effort and struggle. And that is so, so, so important. Joy and effort, what does it mean? One of the most challenging and exhausting sports, for example, is mountain climbing. And when a mountain climber, he tried to climb up the mountain, he exerts immense effort and become tired. But the associated psychological state in including like motivation, challenge, and joy. This means when this mountain climber, he have this goal of reaching the mountain, and this goal, he believes so strong in that he can do it. Also, when it's very, very hard, it gives him this joy and this happiness to do it. And this is the point. When you maybe you know that, like, you know, for example, I drove with my husband and my family, we drove with the car to Morocco. And it was a long trip actually. I was pregnant. I was 6 months pregnant. But still, I wanted to do it. And I was so excited to do it. And it was really exhausting. And we know that. But we was so excited. So we wanted to do it. So we had so much joy. Because we had an idea how it will be and what we want to do, and we was excited, and that's okay, and that's the right thing. So always you must think about the positive things. Like, for example, if you're right now in a trial and it's so hard for you, you should tell yourself what will happen after the trial, and it should be, of course, more good. Like, if you have a negative idea after the trial will get worse, my life will get like hell, whatever, then this will not work. But you always must think about the goal in a very positive way. It's very important. So let's go back into a deeper understanding of life as play and distractions. So the Quran frequently refers to worldly life as play and distractions. And I'm sure you also heard about that, right? This is just a dunya, it's just play, it's just a game and a distraction. So negative, actually. So some people interpret this first negatively. However, consider this. If you view studying as play and distraction, how will you approach it? Like, for example, if I'm now a wife and I do my housework and I think, oh my god, it's such a distraction, I hate it, it's so bad, how will it be for me? Or when a man, he go to work and he say, oh, I hate my work, it's so bad, oh, how will it make them feel? Negative. But when I go into a new mindset and I say, that's my house, I get hasanat for that, right? If I do my housework, I do that for my family, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's just a time, right? I mean, how long the housework take, right? Every day, 1-2 hours, whatever. If you have a positive image about that, you program your mind in that style of thinking, you will get joy. So it's your choice. And that's something what people don't understand. We have a free will. And Allah wants that we use that free will. It's so crazy. I remember someone I told him that, look, you are free to believe in what you want to believe. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says multiple times in Quran, there is no forcing in Islam, and He gave us a free will that we can take the decision. And I'm not a black and white thinker, but that is actually very black and white. We have the way of Allah and we have the way of human, nafs, and shaitan. That's it. This rule is very black and white. You always have the choice. Do I follow what Allah likes in the Prophet Muhammad system or not? And if I'm your mom, if I'm your dad, if I'm your wife, if I'm your sister, your brother, whatever, I cannot force you. And this is actually what we try right now. We try to like take this God-given freedom of a free will from a human being and we push him into our opinions. And I make a big difference between a personal experience and opinion or a law, a universal law, like from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created. And if you want to know what is the law from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you must go and read the Quran and go into science, psychology, and whatever, based on your field where you are expert, right? Like by me, it's the human behavior, it's the psychology, it's the bioenergetic and whatever. Yeah. And here we have the choice. And Allah wants that you choose. And Allah knows how you will choose. And that's the collective energy which come together. Every action have a reaction. And there's a bigger plan behind that. not only for me and my family, also with the people who my family interact. That's a big thinking. We can speak about topics like that for hours, but let's go back to the main topic. So, as I say, some people interpret this verse negatively. And unfortunately, also many speakers of religion, they consciously or unconsciously teach people to live in a state of unhappiness. So, I want to give you some ideas how the most people, how the most Muslims and also people live, in which kind of mindset, all right? So, we have 4 different stages of a human being. And I want from you right now that you reflect in which kind of state I am. I always tell my people around me, like imagine a scale from 1 to 7. 1 means less, like, oh no, absolutely not. And 7 means, oh my God, yes, so strong. Because for some people, it's very hard to give yes and no answers, and that's okay. So try it with 1 to 7. So I will ask you now, we will go now into the 4 stages, and I will ask you in which number do you think you are? All right, then let's go to the stages. So the first stage is you could be happy in both worlds. Do you believe that you can live a happy life here in this dunya and in the hereafter? Scale. The second, and this actually is achieved through a balanced lifestyle that integrates faith, joy, and gratitude. Then the Prophet Muhammad said, when Bilal, he said to Bilal actually, bring us comfort through prayer, O Bilal. And we can see that in Sunan Abu Dawud, Hadith 4985. And this demonstrates the act of worship and that it should bring joy and peace in our life. All right, let's go to state number 2. Happy in this life, but unhappy in the hereafter. And this all, we always wish this people we don't like our enemies. Like, yeah, maybe this person enjoying out his life here, but in the hereafter he will suffer. Something like that, right? So people in this state seek short-term pleasures while neglecting spiritual values, leading to regret in the hereafter. As I told you, 2 ways. Scale. Do you believe it for you, for yourself, or for someone else? State number 3. Unhappy in this life, but you will be happy in the hereafter. And this is the most state which people and speakers of religion teach us, right? Maybe you're happy here, unhappy here, but in the hereafter you will be so happy. And that's so sad actually. So you will say, yeah, okay, I'm suffering my whole life. It's okay, all right, no problem. Allah will give me inshallah Jannatul Firdaus. No, that is not how it works. So some mistakenly believe that suffering is the only way to earn Allah's pleasure. That's not right. Allah is not someone who want to like make you feel sad all the time, all that you get health problems, that you get ill, and that you cannot take care of your children. That is not what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants. However, Islam teaches that permissible joy and enjoyment in this life are not only allowed but encouraged with the framework of faith. And stage number 4, unhappy in both worlds, this life and the hereafter. A life without faith or joy leads to despair and a lack of direction in both worlds. All right, so how can we find then happiness and how can we strengthen our joy and happiness in this life? First, as I say, gratitude. You should really start to have alhamdulillah, like a alhamdulillah mindset, but not in a way of you don't recognize your negative emotions. That's not right. This is the worst thing what you can do. Let's say, for example, now something bad happened. I give you a real mindset example how you should communicate with yourself. Let's say, for example, I wanted that my husband go out with me for dinner and he couldn't go with me because he must work, whatever, right? This made me sad. Instead of making a big problem with him, all right, I sit down with myself and I reflect. I don't say, ah, khir, alhamdulillah, qadallah, mashab, like I don't give my negative feelings the right. That's also not right. What I will do is, all right, Melissa, that's my name. I'm now sad because my husband couldn't make it and couldn't go with me to the restaurant. That's okay. I'm allowed to feel that. But I know Allah have something better for us written, maybe to another time. And I know, inshallah, that Allah will make me happy. This is it. So you should reflect on the negative feelings and you should give them their right. You should feel them, please recognize them, and then you switch it into a positive statement. That's actually all time when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks with us about any trial or something, exactly in that way. First he highlight the negative, he show that it's okay, but he don't go into a drastic way, and then flip it into a positive message, bushra. This means a positive outcome based on Allah. That's how we do it, right? Okay, this you can also do with you. Like you can also say that, and my husband, may Allah give my husband then a possibility where he not need to work longer and he will take me out for a nice meal, whatever, right? Okay, this is the first thing. The second thing is gratitude. Don't mean alhamdulillah, 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 alhamdulillah. It's okay. You can make also zikr, and that's not only bad, yeah. But it's more about I am thankful, Ya Rabbi, that I can drink. Alhamdulillah. That's so delicious. Actually, it's really delicious. So I recognize it and I say, it's so delicious. Yes, thank you, Ya Rab, for the money that I could bought it, for the car who bring it, whatever. Like go a little bit deeper, go a little bit more in the meaning, right? Or for example, oh, I eat a good cookie or whatever it is, right? Anything what makes you have, oh, this was such a nice conversation. This was so, I enjoyed it. Yeah, thank you. Make the emotions strong and bigger. This is the point, because biologically, if you think about that and you go more into this real situation, you will start to have positive emotions. Second, you need positive habits. All right, this means go out in nature. It's so healing. Go out with your family, have a walk, have a good conversation with someone, do something like journal. Journal is so good. All right, I love journal. Write your goals down, have a hobby, do something what makes you really happy. And of course, trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah, everything that happens in your life, in our life, is a part of a greater plan, a plan which we can never imagine. And it's okay, it's just a short time. Maybe you have right now this trial not for you, but maybe you should share about your story in future, about what you went through, and so many other people will have a benefit from that. You always need to think bigger, have hope, hope, hope. Don't let shaitan, nafs, humans in like shaitan in human form destroy your hope in Allah. And even acts of worship should bring peace and motivation. Okay, I told you, buy yourself please a daily counter, start to make zikr a daily habit. I do that for years. And please, of course, try to stay in the sajda. All right, speak with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about your problems. That will be so helpful. So the conclusion is joy is a part of our life's purpose. All right, and Islam teaches us that we can experience joy in both life, like in this life and in the hereafter. If you act, if your acts of worship or prayers feel like a burden or pressure, that might be a sign that you don't necessarily approach to your faith. And that is very, very important. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that video like me, and I hope you had some benefits from that. I would like if you can give me a comment, if you can give me a like, maybe you can share my video. You can share it with your friend who maybe have also benefit from it. In the next video, we want to speak about so much misunderstandings about the Quran. Like I want to give you an example how you can go away from the suffering, you can go into joy, and the real way, the real way of how you will get easiness in your life, right? You know this area, with hardship come ease, but how ease really comes, we will discuss this in the next video, and I'm happy to see you there. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.